Welcome to the Hansen Brothers Podcast. I'm Timmy and joined by my brother Kevin. We are teammates and world champions in rallycross. This podcast is our space to catch up while traveling the motorsport world.
Welcome back to another episode of the Hansen Brothers Podcast. I'm Kevin. Timmy is here as well. And if you're not already subscribing and liking to our episodes, please make sure to do that now. And today we're going to recap Timmy's adventures in the US. First of all, race weekend. How was it quickly? Before I have some very interesting questions.
So we raced in Miami this week. As you know, the final race of E1 2025. And it was great. It was a huge event. Will Smith was here. Rafa Nadal was here. Mark Anthony was here. And I think there was about 1,000 people in the VIP area. And we had a good race. We went really fast. And we were fighting up there. But in a crucial race called the race-off, we didn't make it straight through to the final, as two winners do in the semifinals. But we were leading that race-off to go through. And then Neria, my new teammate, she made a mistake, turned on the wrong boy. And we got a massive penalty, so that was it at that point.
Really, so quickly done in that series, isn't it?
Yeah, it turned so quickly. I mean, I think we did have a good weekend, and I am happy with the performance and stuff. And yeah, mistakes happen. She's quite new to the E1 series, and there are honestly, like, it looks so easy when you are outside which course to take, but when you're inside the boat and you see all the boys, it's kind of it can be a little bit confusing. So we didn't end up having a great event, but that happens.
There's not been a calendar release yet, has it?
No full calendar, no full calendar release, but we will go soon. There was also more stuff happening. We were over here. I should get you into the next. Or do you want to talk about the calendar? Or you want to talk about
mainly it was on everyone's mind, which is probably more to do after the races. What's happening to your voice?
I don't know what's happening to my voice.
I have a few ideas. Mental partying for 3 days, right?
Yeah, I've been doing the full Miami life out here. Having fun with friends. It's a lot of people from the paddock have stayed. We've gone out. Last night we went to a basketball game, watched the Miami Heat wins, and making the winning shot with 0.4 seconds left on the clock.
Oh wow!
Kind of crazy. Yeah. So then, we've had a good time. We've looked around Miami. I stayed for 2 extra days here. Also, Miami E1 is a lot about, us having fun together, and we're in beautiful places, and it seemed to be a lot of people who decided to stay out. But the way we started the celebration was already at the track immediately after the race.
Straight into the Ocean Club.
Everybody went to the Ocean Club, and people just fresh out the race suit. Team Rafa was there. They obviously lost the championship by a single point to Team Brady, and it came down to the very last lap of the final. It was so close. They were there, and then suddenly I get told I need to go down to the dock and look at my boat. It was very important. There's a woman called Claire who pretty much runs all of E1. If you are in E1, you'll know. And she told me I have to go and look at the boat. I started to have this feeling that I should probably take my phone out of my pocket because this is getting very fishy. All of a sudden, I get a massive tackle from behind and fly into the water. I grabbed Claire's arm, put her into the water too. She actually had her phone in her pocket, which ended up on the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, really?
And then all of a sudden we are like 20 people in clothes, but in the water. And these were my only shoes. They went in the water.
Oh.
And in the night, then we went to go to dinner and everything else. I managed to dry them a little bit, but I had to keep walking around with wet shoes for the rest of the night. It was hard. That's how we started.
So that was good. It started with the tackle. Then that was the first day. You probably went out, had a big dinner or nightclub. The second day you went to a nightclub with Tiesto playing.
Yeah, Tiesto was playing. He was a really good DJ. we again, as I said, a lot of people stayed out, so I saw a lot of the friends from the paddock, and it was a nice time there. And then we went to Eric Stark's house after.
He has a house
we
there.
Carried on. No, he was renting a house. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
On the water. Yeah, so we went back to him. Kind of, well, it was chill. Was good. Yeah, I've had a good time. Like staying out these days. Also, we went paddle boarding. We went out on the water the day after.
Nice.
And we went to Raccoon Island, where there was a lot of raccoons coming.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Stuff. Yeah, they tried to steal our stuff. They tried to do all sorts of things. We also saw a manatee, which is
What's
like
that?
big, kind of between a seal and a dolphin, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that. And when we were paddling in between the mangroves, where the water was pretty shallow, then suddenly there's this massive thing coming swimming in front, and our first thought is like, is that a shark? Is that a dolphin? Like, is that a crocodile? What is coming? And when you're on a paddleboard, it's always a bit scary.
It's a bit sketchy.
And sometimes, all of a sudden, this big thing comes swimming towards us, run right underneath us, and we almost died. But it was fine. Apparently, they are not they're not dangerous. But
it's easy to say when it's not coming straight at you.
Yeah, exactly. What happened in Kevin Hansen's life?
In my life, it's a lot of race calendars finally, let's say, decided and let's say scheduled. Like there's the rallycross calendar is not announced. We've got the dates and stuff. It's waiting to be signed off in the World Council later in a month's time. So like when all these different calendars are out, the different projects I want to do and stuff, then now I can finally like plan when to have my wedding, which is exciting. So been looking at that the last bit. So it looks like we finally started to get to the point of now we know approximately when we can do it, because that's been like since end of end of start of this year when we were planning and stuff. We've been like, we need to wait to see what my calendar is, and finally at least all the racing calendars in the world of motorsport is pretty much announced. Like, I'm not going to do E1 because that's not my thing. I'm afraid of water, as everyone knows, so I don't need to wait for that one. So then I can start planning. So I'm not going to announce when my wedding is on podcast because I haven't decided yet. But when it's decided, might let you know.
Good reason for not announcing the date. That the date is not confirmed.
Yeah, it's not confirmed yet. But we're looking at venues. We have a location we really want to, so we're gonna go visit that because I fly to Sweden tomorrow. Then when we get back, we're gonna go visit it on the weekend to see if that's what we want to go for. But already, I love planning. I'm a planner. I want to know everything in advance. I want to feel like very, comfortable. So I've been already, all the budgets already, I did them half a year or 8 months ago. Now he's updating them with new costs and stuff. I love things like that. Both of us love planning and getting organized. So, I've been doing a bit of that recently, and then, working more on Hansen Motorsport, what we're going to do, and projects we got going on, following up from the World Cup, everything happening there, partners, people wanting to get hold of, the car, use the team, people want to get involved in partnering with the team, interested in even greater things than just, doing events, a lot of a lot of interest on the Team Hansen side, both for Rallycross and Extreme H, which is really exciting.
We got to fill the podcast with some kind of content during all of these weeks, and it is going to settle down a little bit now. Like we neither of us have any race left to do this year. This was my last race, and when things get stable, it will be interesting to hear from you guys listening if you want to comment on what you want to hear, but also on or maybe us making some content around what do we actually, when we say we have been busy for the winter, what does that actually mean, and can we bring the listeners into a little bit of work, like to tell the updates. A lot of things in motorsport always stays confidential, even though everything that happens on the podcast stays on the podcast. We we know that, but
saying that, you can give us some gossips.
I can't.
Yeah, but yeah, for sure, I agree. I think I'm not far away from sharing, let's say, my ambitions and plans. I just need a little bit more time to settle them in, and probably might even be as early as next week and do something.
Wow. Okay. Even I'm excited.
And not maybe it's not announcing a project. Maybe it will be announcing a project.
Okay, in 2 weeks then. In 2
weeks.
Maybe
next week.
He's announcing his new project.
Exactly. Can't do 1 week. 2 weeks time. I think to touch on a few motorsport in general things, it's been Timmy Hansen as a cool. Look at this. What an embarrassment. You're a year into podcasting and forgot to turn his phone off.
I put my phone on silent. Okay, now.
Oh, disaster. Well, huge battle in Formula 1. Got a huge battle in WRC. And there was one more thing I wanted to mention, but now I forgot it. Those two things mainly. Oh yeah, we got, not experienced either, bouncing the mic around. Got a Swedish WRC driver for the first time in full-time driver in many, many years. Oliver Solberg is going straight to WRC with Toyota, which is, I think, is absolutely fantastic that we got a Swede in WRC.
Yeah. Where do we start on all this? We start on Oliver. He had his chance in WRC, making a couple of rallies, but then having to step down. But I think this year, like, really proving how good he is and proving that he's like the next big thing in WRC. Getting the drive now with Toyota, I'm so happy for him. Like, they're a great family. I've known Oliver since he was a kid. That says a lot about me, how old I am now.
But me too. When he was crazy running around, he used to, for a while, he ran around trying to kick me because he was just lunatic as a kid. I was like, what are you doing? Stop trying to kick. He's always been a showman, just like his father, like a Hollywood man, being the center of attention in the paddock, knowing everyone. He even spoke French when he was a kid, speaking to Citroën and stuff. Like he's been in the center of motorsport for a long time, and I think recently he's built a profile that's just really cool and impressive. That he's found his niche and his style on socials, and also I think he's getting a bit more mature. He's racing a bit more steadily. It's not done as many like last year. I think he had a lot of crashes, a lot of out when he shouldn't have lost the title. So year of growth, I think he really earned getting into the WRC properly and getting that promotion. So it's going to be exciting to follow a Swede. For the first time in many years, we can have a Swedish World Rally Champion, which is, I think, is where motorsport in the Scandinavians are based.
Yeah, and the championship this year is super close between Elfyn Evans and Sebastian Ogier. How many rallies are there to go?
It's only Saudi Arabian, the first ever Saudi Arabian rally to go in 2 weeks' time. So that's going to be a first of its kind rally. And one rally. It's 1 point between them, so it's literally first 2 days. So it's a Wednesday to Saturday because Saudi is the weekend is Friday, Saturday. So it's a Wednesday SS1, and then there's 3 days of racing. Obviously, the first 2 days, then it's like that's like its own rally. So then you get the points from that, and then it's the final day. So hopefully they stay close together on the first 2 days, and we get a final Super Sunday showdown of who wins the WRC title. And in all of this, we shouldn't forget that the WRC is also up for sale for $500 million. So it's kind of like
billion with a B.
yeah,
It's
it's
crazy
not
money.
500 million. For you that didn't know, $500 million. So it's like
Maths with Kevin
yeah.
Hansen.
Yeah, exactly. Did you? So but that's happening alongside this exciting. So it's WRC is for sure interesting at the moment, and we'll see where it all ends. Just like Formula One at the moment is a nail biter, but our favorite time of year comes down now to when it's all decided, and obviously Lando has the upper hand on a chasing now Max, and let's say dropping off Oscar Piastri.
Yeah. To me, it looks like Lando is just the strongest right now. But I think my take on it is that Piastri has had a couple of bad races because he's starting to feel championship pressure. And the first time you're under championship pressure, it's a whole different thing, and it's not easy to deal with. It's not easy to handle. I guess it's similar for Lando, and I mean he has been close to getting a world Formula One World Championship before, but they have both made a lot of mistakes this year, which I think come down to nerves, and that's why suddenly Max, was the favorite for a little while there, a couple of races ago. But yeah, we will see. It's great as a fan to see the nerves coming in and to see people making mistakes and things getting interesting. But it's not so great to be part of, to be the person who has the pressure.
No, I mean we both can speak to that. We had yesterday on the 10th of November, we had our 6 years, let's say, mark on winning the world titles at teams, and that was still the episode to come on the Hansen Brothers Podcast. But we both know how stressful it is. But what I can see from Lando is have you noticed too, his mental attitude has changed quite a bit recently, and I think he's always been this quick and consistent, but he or not consistent, but he's unlocked now his performance to create it consistently. And
I saw something interesting that he has done. He has removed the delta time on his dash. I saw it on Instagram. I'm not sure if this is true, but I mean,
it could have been
AI.
could be
I think
could
it's
be
true.
AI.
So he's removed.
Could be longer ago as well.
Yeah, but he's removed lately now for a couple of races his delta time on the top right corner of his dash, and that time is telling them how far ahead or behind they are on their quickest lap, especially in qualifying. Some people find it very useful, but me personally, I've always hated that. Like, if there is that little time there who's telling me I'm up or down on my previous time, I've always thought like that doesn't matter. I've already done these corners. They are behind. Like, the next corner I got to do is in front, and doesn't matter if I'm 0.8 up on my previous best lap or if I'm 2 seconds down. It's still, I got to do this next corner well. So he removed that, and kind of in the interview saying something similar, that he just preferred to focus on his driving, and the times will come by itself. And I really agree with that, and it makes it easier to focus. For me, it makes it easier to keep the focus on the next corner already.
Sure, I think it's the right approach. I think it creates a, you just try and do the best you can in the moment, and it's like maybe some people like the iRacing constant delta there, but I think in the end of the day you just need to try and go as quick as you can in that time, and focus on what you got to do at the moment. And I think we can just see he's really grown. I think Oscar he's young. He's it's his second or first time for sure battling for a world title. So that is a first time battle. It rarely goes down to a success. Like Hamilton didn't succeed in the first time. I don't think Kalle achieved the first time. So many times when you go for the first time. Same with you and Petter 1 year, like you came close and it was more that you had a bad start to this, but like it is not easy to get all the way there when the first time. Same for me when you won the title. It was my first time battling for one, and it is you almost it's just like anything. If you don't have experience, it's very difficult to just do it on natural instinct. It's rare that you get it right the first time. So I think you will see Oscar struggling and falling behind, and I think you will see Lando become world champion. I mean, hope with our, if we take our cap on as you are wearing, obviously we would love Max to win, but also Lando. For me, Lando is part owner of Veloce, which is obviously a family as well. So it's kind of like is in the end of the day, may the best man win. So I'm excited for the last triple header.
Yeah, we're gonna keep talking about that on the podcast. Also keep you guys updated on what's happening behind the scenes. Right now, I feel like I need to go to the gym and get my life started again. So let's end this
You had a
recording.
break for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Now you need to go for it again.
Everything. Thank you for listening this week, guys, and see you next week.